let's get into the drafting phase. Ladies and gentlemen, for the final match of the day, presented to you by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy A55, A35 5G, Rebellion on blue side. Gonna be banning out all these assassins, it looks like. Fanny, Ling, as well as the Nolan. It's Buddy Kyrie respect over here.
Full Buddy Kyrie respect.
Wow.
Let's see how that plays out, man.
That's not
Fanny.
a good birthday gift, Rebellion.
Well, yeah, not really letting him get on any of his signature heroes. But here, the Hayabusa is still left open. So, for Onic, do they want to risk leaving it open? Do they have a solution maybe to counter the Hayabusa that some teams haven't really found just yet? So far with the Chip and the Phobias, as always, these seem like default bans at this point. It's just too important. The Hayabusa joins the mix as well. First move by Rebellion. What will it be? It's gonna be something... The jungle? Is it gonna be a strong mid laner maybe?
Should be the Edith, right? What else is actually up for grabs right now?
The priestess of
there you go,
lightning.
Edith.
The hunter of
Very
all
safe
the
first
evil
pick in for
gods.
Rebellion, still staying elusive with the way that they want to
He's on
draft
the way.
things. But Fnatic Onic very quickly, a Matilda for Keyboy, assumingly. But with 4 assassins taken out, what are the options here? Is Julian still a viable pick in this meta?
Yeah, it can still work.
By all means, the nerf on the current patch is to the enhanced scythe. So the passives, right, the basic attacks that are empowered with magical damage from the Julian can still do a very decent amount. And of course, the utility value and the escape mechanisms offered to that pick can always be used to full potential by mechanical players like Kyrie, so that can still be an option. Is it too early to show it though? That is the main question.
Among the
With
planes
the
exists the
Matilda
equal
comes in the Eve,
which
rising in
I
popularity
was made
very
for.
rapidly here, means that Fnatic Onic will be getting a lot of wave clear potential, and they're gonna have a lot better time setting up and going for the high grounds with the slows, with the opening of the bushes, using the Void Blast and the Void Crystals on a very short cooldown.
And by the way, if I'm not mistaken, this Eve is still sitting at 100% win rate today. Right? It's been picked up 3 times. If it's not picked, it's banned out. So it has been not just finding popularity, but also finding a lot of success. And paired in with the Matilda, the lack of mobility that the Eve has can be supplemented with the guiding wind that the Matilda offers. So strong early start to the drafts for Fnatic Onic. Now for Rebellion, however.
It's going to be real tough to actually decide what they want to go for.
It's our showtime.
Oh, I am not a fan of these 2 picks, not at all. The Zosk pick, after the change, there's a reason we don't see Zosk and Juicin at all now. And the Claude too. I'm a big hater of this new Claude.
Saw it kind of work out, but again, very situational. And some would say it's not about the pick itself, it's about everything surrounding that pick. Now that it's surrounded by the Zask and the Edith, the changes to the Zask kind of changed the way that the Nightmare Spawn benefits from magical damage that you built from the items. So there's that to think about for Suelo here, especially against a Yve, right? When it comes to wave clear, he's going to be losing out severely due to all the AoE.
Wait a minute.
Fnatic Onic taking a page from what we just saw earlier from RRQ, going with the Joy very early on. We weren't really big fans of it here on the desk, I feel, from how we were talking about it, but Coach Yeb, he has an idea, a vision.
It's been a comfort pick for Kyrie seasons ago, right?
Yeah.
The Joy was always banned away from Kyrie, but I guess the first time we saw the Joy, anomaly. Second time, we have to think about this. We have to talk about it. Why Joy when the Julian is still an option, when Bane is still an option, Roger still an option? Why Joy?
Has to be the mobility and the damage output as well. By all means, not a lot of assassins can output the same kind of damage in AoE fashion. But the thing is, it's a risky playstyle. And we saw earlier, even the likes of Citizen, it's usually a bit more calm, calculated, found it difficult to dive towards the back line and still survive to tell the tale about it. He's going to be trying to go in and chase down a Claude with the Electrifying Beats, or maybe even the Zask. And at this point, we haven't even seen the 2 other picks for Rebellion. If they get something with quick crowd control, something like a Ruby, for instance, gonna make things very difficult for the Joy.
I agree. That's why, even if they wanted to go Joy, why Joy this early? It still can be countered, right? I guess we understand why the Minotaur gets banned out by Fnatic Onic. They're trying to eliminate those CC options, but there's still so many. Can you really ban out all the options away?
Yeah, I agree. I'm not a big fan of the Joy pick here, but again, we've only just seen it once, and it was not that crazy in the game against Evo's Glory. It was Sutsujin who used it. Ah, good Lancelot ban. I was about to say, Lancelot would probably be the answer for Rebellion, to have an assassin that can match the farming of Joy and to actually dive towards the Eve. Now that the Lancelot is banned out, that makes 5 assassins gone out of the pool. You can go Roger, but I don't think you want to go on the Roger against the Eve. Like, Julian too. Julian is an assassin, but the way you play the Julian a lot of times is you also technically all play front to back. It's hard to flank alone. Against the Eve with the Mathilda. Oh, now it's going to be tough for Rebellion. Those 3 assassin bans might actually just come back to bite them back.
You know, when was it when Aether was in RQ?
Season 9.
Season 9. That's when he picked up the Lancelot, right?
Exactly.
So it's a signature pick for Aether. Impressive history skills, by the way, from Fnatic Onic, being able to remember that. But remember, the Alpha is still an option. Wouldn't work here.
The Alpha? If they really want to try and play a full-on front to back, technically it can kind of work, but now even with the addition of the Ruby, and the Alpha is walking around looking for an entrance towards the back line, he's gonna fall to the damage coming in from the Eve. He's gonna be slowed down. He might even get jumped on, and even when everything goes well, it doesn't mean that the rest of the team can ignore and get past this Ruby. So a lot of roadblocks if they want to really go for this Alpha pick. Not to mention the Mathilda, they can take away the Eve. Once you use the Spear of Alpha, you're out of gap closers when you're on that pick. It's a very all-in type of guy. And against a Ruby Eve, they can just poke you down and then eventually go in for a pick-off. I feel like it's just a bit risky. I feel like especially if Rebellion wants to play for the neutral objective, something with a bit more mobility or survivability can be the answer.
Bane? Alpha still. They're still going to commit onto the Alpha despite the elaboration that you made earlier on, Arashi, and they go with the Kaja as well. How does this synergize together?
I don't quite see the idea there, man. I mean, the Joy, by all means, can be punished by the Kaja, so this might be a defensive Kaja option. But even before that, I don't get how they're gonna play the setup game. Who's gonna stay in the front? The Edith can do that, but I don't know, man. The Kaja is gonna find it so difficult to really find the right members in the backline. Again, with the Mathilda in the picture.
Time to take the field.
Yeah, and they'll go for the Bruno. Ah, I like it. I was thinking maybe even the Clint would do good here, but yeah, the Bruno offers a bit more consistent damage, not as much burst, and they technically, I don't know, they already have a lot of consistent damage from the Eve. But hey, Bruno, pretty good pick here up against the Claude. I would say it's pretty solid against the Zosk and Alpha too. You're able to kite away a lot of times. I think Fnatic Onic have gotten the edge in the draft. But there is one concern, the Joy. The Joy. I'm not a big fan of the Joy.
By all means, she is immune to slow, so technically the Zask's impact with the Nightmare Spawn won't really be as difficult, you know? And again, the Nightmare Spawn now is a lot easier to be taken out. Technically, the defenses inherited with the from that skill, it's kind of been nerfed, along with the base damage too. So the early game might be a bit slower for Rebellion. But yeah, for everyone else on Fnatic Onic, if the Joy is left alone, I think there can still be potential for it to do damage, the same way Fabian did. But if the team starts falling behind, this Joy is not a independent type of hero.
So let's close this day with a bang. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Land of Dawn for game number 1 between the Blue Bulls and the Sky Kings, Fnatic Onic. Can Fnatic Onic close out their lose streak against Rebellion, or will Rebellion be the deterrent for Fnatic Onic to find success to this day?
They're absolutely going to try their best. As we take a look at some of the emblems here. Temporal Rain still for Kyrie, like from what we saw from Sutsujin. CW though, with the Purify, definitely respecting a lot of the ways for Rebellion to surprise and go with a pick-off kind of strat. And look at the mid lane focus though. Rebellion is corralling around the Litho. So Rez on the Ruby can't really find an entry point here without risking a bit too much. Emblems by IndyHome indicate that the ruptures from Kyrie and Sans, they want that early game damage. And especially with the Bruno running the Master Assassin, maybe playing from the gold lane is the idea they want to play around with. Rez though, running with the Fighter emblem, with the Festival of Blood and the Agility, just roaming after clearing, that seems to be the idea.
Whoa, Kyrie already very aggressive. We're seeing the flicker out of X-Win on the Kaja.
That's a good resource baited out. I mean, technically, the power does hit at level 4 for X-Win, but now he's going to be unable to escape if he continues to open up the map to give his team a little bit more information, especially to help King Matt in this gold lane.
Early move by Kyrie there to just go in, steal some camps away. Already seeing a lot of early game aggression. Seeing that there was attention from Rebellion to the top side of the map, Kyrie just went in straight to the bottom side. And it's a relatively slow game. Rebellion actually setting up some kind of ambush here. You're seeing Aether spend a lot of time in the bush here. That's usually not what you see. Keyboy reads it out, gets out.
Really
flickered
crazy.
for that.
Yeah, really crazy reaction time there for Keyboy. Popping the guiding wind right as he saw the Earth Shatter.
It's a great move for sure. And now, with X-Win not level 4, Fnatic Onic have an advantage.
Rez walking up again. Oh, good stun! Kyrie with the steal. Supplemented by Rez in the back, and X-Win is going to be very low. Rez gets out. First blood, Kyrie. Getting rid of Car, Circling Eagle now on the Sway Low. Jumps onto X-Win. Sway Low doesn't want to go for... Oh, he does. Interesting. Demonic... Dominier's Ascent used up by Sway Low.
Yeah, that's a big resource already spent out. Very interesting with how Rebellion have been playing for the first 2 minutes, 3 minutes of the game. But all in all, it's Fnatic Onic that hold on to this gold lead. 1.2k and counting. But meanwhile, Matt is still farming. He is apparently losing the lane. We see the differences in the EXP. But that's a lane that Matt should have lost, right?
Exactly. It's not exactly a winning matchup when you go against the Bruno with a Claude. But hey,
not again.
predictions almost unanimous, but someone is the odd member out.
2-1? Is that a real prediction?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, things have been very...
Shaky.
Shaky, yes. Very, very shaky, to put it lightly, today. So, yeah, 2-1 for me, for Fnatic Onic. I don't know. At this point, anything can happen. Last time when we all had a unanimous... Oh!
What?
He doesn't get it? What? How?
What? I did not know that interaction was possible. Guiding Wind out of the Divine Judgment? Keyboy?
It cancels?
That was weird. How did that happen? I didn't know that was how it worked as well. I thought for sure Keyboy would rebound back with a Divine Judgment, but that will be X-Win probably having the ultimate ready. And look at this, dude. CW absolutely bullying Matt, making sure that he positions the wave in such a way that this Claude is punishable, making him pay for that pick.
That's a crazy interaction. How? What? You can cancel that out with the guiding wind. It's a suppression. Make it make sense, man.
I guess we gotta try it later on after this game. Because, yeah, that shouldn't have happened. And unfortunately for Rebellion, they weren't able to get that pick to set up properly for this neutral objective. And now it looks like Fnatic Onic are the first ones there, the first ones to set up as well.
Let's see.
Level 8.
Slowly but surely on this turtle. Aether taking back control. Car's good zoning. They're going to give it away. Aether picks it up for free. Rez walks up, but it's a bit too late as X-Win walks up towards the back too. Rez zapped down, all the way down.
2-0 trade now in for the red. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on in the bottom lane? A little bit of trades and damage. Nobody gets punished, however. So let's go back to that turtle. Help us break it down.
It was just Rebellion pushing forward and Fnatic Onic not really having the strongest frontliners. You saw Rez diving towards the backline, and I dare say Keyboy was trying to get his boy out there using the guiding wind, but he was just a bit too deep in there, and Rebellion are able to just stick there and stand their ground a lot better with help of the Dominier's Descent. It's technically an extra person, an extra hero on the map, especially if they know where the fights are gonna happen. So that is what Rebellion are using to their advantage. Fnatic Onic, they gotta be a bit earlier to the party there in order to actually get value from this Yves pick and start whittling the HP bars down. There is no sustain built in for Rebellion, except for maybe later on Aether and Matt. Looking at the items, indeed, Demon Hunter Sword for Matt rushed down already, as well as the War Axe for Aether. So those are the only two members that can really sustain through a good amount of poke damage.
And on the opposing end, we take a look at CW here. He is a little bit ahead, but in a matchup that was supposed to favor him, this advantage is not too far off, right?
Exactly.
Only 200 gold?
Yeah, this is not an optimal lead for the Bruno, I would say, but finally they're starting to play around this gold lane, but it might be a bit too late, right? Matt is scaling really well in this game. Like, RBL actually have win conditions now to play with, and Fnatic Onic, this Bruno will scale pretty well too in the mid game. But the Claude has that. Oh, Aether. Oh, Natalia getting caught there.
Well, looking at the MPL IDX streamer program here with Fnatic Onyx Silla? Not sure how you pronounce it. And definitely enjoying the game with a bit of intensity as Fnatic Onic make the first move.
That's X-Win. With a Flicker Divine Judgment onto Rez, but Kyrie still secures it. Electrifying beats to the back high! Rez gets an I'm offended onto 3! And that is still Cars out-damaging Kyrie in the midst of it all. CW brought in by the guiding wind.
Oh.
Cars dealing some damage with the Primal Wrath! Basic attacking CW to death! Rebellion won that!
That was a 1-for-3 trade, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't know, that guiding win by Keyboy last second into the bottom lane, bringing essentially CW to his death. Is everything okay with Fnatic Onic?
They definitely overextended there. They got the neutral objective, they got what they wanted, but they wanted to try and get a bit more to really elevate that snowball potential to shut down the members of Rebellion. But then they forget that Cars on the Edith does a lot of damage. On the Primal Wrath form, he just gunned everyone down right there. And CW, like you mentioned, being on the winning matchup on a strong 2-item powers by Kiro, who already has the Hasclaw and the Berserker's Fury, is actually not doing that well. He has the burst damage, but now you can see that Cars alone can kind of deter him quite a bit. I think the positioning and the planning on the team fights need to be cleaned up here for Fnatic Onic.
For sure. I mean, they do get a tower in the bottom lane, but I mean, essentially that's already a trade that Rebellion was able to pioneer in the top lane. So it's essentially Fnatic Onic trading back. And remember, Matt, 0-0-2, not punished at all, is actually leading in terms of gold again.
Oy.
Now against CW, already has 2 items. He's on his way to his 3rd. It should be the Corrosion side, I believe, Irashi?
It should be the Corrosion side, but we've seen players go for usually the win of nature. But in this kind of game, I don't think Matt is planning on dueling with CW anytime soon. In fact, he might be more concerned about magical damage.
Oh, pops in the Blazing Duet. Kyrie breaking some ankles here with some of the maneuvers. Forcing out a big resource, but the Lord is spawning in the bottom lane. Fnatic Onic are up top. Wait, Rebellion are deciding to go for the Lord. Wait, Fnatic Onic? They might have just been out macroed by Rebellion Esports. The Blue Bulls just charged to an objective.
A free Lord in exchange for the single topside turret. Man, Fnatic Onic, I'm really underestimating the decisiveness of Rebellion. There was a big critique on their playstyle, how they kind of dawdle around, unsure of what to do. But right there, they saw multiple members. Usually, Fnatic Onic would maybe hide more members on the top side, show only 1 or 2 members, but everyone was on the map there, so Rebellion just immediately gunned for it. And with the true damage coming in from the Alpha, I mean, it was a pretty quick Lord take. Now, Rebellion, only with a 1k gold lead, want to try and make a big play. X-Win?
Flicker. Oh, good cancel by Rez with the Donut Wolf King. CW picks up the kill as X-Win was trapped under the real world manipulation. Rebellion only with the Lord now.
Yeah, that was a very all-in or nothing play. I mean, essentially that's what you'd expect from a Kaja that is going into the composition that Fnatic Onic have brought. You see Keyboy outmaneuvering that movement coming in from Cars. It looks like CW should be able to clear no problem, but this mid-tier turret will fall.
A lot of damage coming in from Suelo, already pocketing the Wishing Lantern on top of the Glowing Wand. So the continuous damage is indeed intense. But for Fnatic Onic, they're able to clear that Lord and with relative ease, right? They were able to get a bit of extra gold. And look at the gold difference. Before the Lord was in the picture, it was about 1,000, give or take. Now it's down to 400, or 300. But technically, Fnatic Onic didn't really lose much. In fact, they kind of gained from the Lord, kind of shoving the waves out for them. With Rez picking up the Queen's Wings, this means that in a decisive all-out burst fight, there's a chance that if Rebellion go for Rez,
good onward onto CW, but it still is going to be Purify from CW. Responded over. Flicker for Purify.
Still gets out. But back to the items there. I guess... Wait a second.
Circling Eagle from Keyboy. Able to get out, alright.
Okay.
Self-punishments.
Just teasing at the moment here for Keyboy. Still understands that he will be able to get out of these situations. But again, it looks like Fnatic Onic are focusing on this turret. Not going to be able to get it. The clear does come through for Rebellion, but back to the items. Matt goes for Rose Gold Meteor, 3rd item.
is concerned about the burst potential from Kyrie. There is going to be a Kaja available, but at the same time, you never know, right? It's just nice to be a bit more careful about things. Not to mention, if he has to fight in the midst of all the spells coming in from Sans on the Eve, that could be a good addition to save him from that situation as well. And don't forget, Mathilda actually does a decent amount of damage if you're kind of facing off against her solo. So it's not a bad item choice, but Kyrie now already level 15, but Aether has matched it despite the level differential. Now both teams are just scaling into this late game where the laning phase becomes less and less stand-outy. Now it's all about the execution here, whether or not they can actually get the right moments to really seal the deal.
But remember that itemization choice coming in from Matt means that his item power spike will be delayed. And it's important to note before both of these teams go for the clash, because technically CW has 3 already.
That is true.
Rez? Ooh, able to find Matt, but there's no follow-up. I'm offended down. Rebellion have more resources to play with now. Car's got that blade armor too. A good answer to the crit that will be coming in from the Bruno.
We're seeing Rez and Keyboy kind of in the same spot right here because the bushes aren't safe. X-Win.
Oh, Flicker this time catching Keyboy, and that's gonna be the combo with the blazing duet. The real world reflection catches all of them. Map is able to get out the knockup from the Lord. Caught Kyrie. Dominators a set from Suelo. Cars taken low as well. It's gonna be Suelo still running away. Fnatic Onic have lost 3 of their members, only getting Aether. RBL are very low though. CW and Sun still practically full HP. They can't go for the Lord, but Rebellion want to try to force it. X-Whip going for the flanks off the Suns now, going for the Divine Judgment, able to find it. And it is going to be Cars who secures it. He sacrifices his life for it. That's a win for Rebellion.
What? I mean, I understand that Fnatic Onic, they were outnumbered, but man, they were so low.
Dominators are set. They're going to crowd coming down. CW getting gunned down by the Blazing Duet and the Flicker. King M-A-T-T.
What a chain of events for the Blue Bulls in the past few seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, they're able to take CW down. Sans flickered out, but they traded that for a gold laner.
Something definitely has switched on for Rebellion, man. They're so decisive on this. Even there, with the Lord resetting, kind of, they were able to actually force it out. 3v2 against 2 members with a lot of damage, full HP. Rebellion really push on the tempo to Fnatic Onic, and Fnatic Onic are the ones that look kind of lost here. Not sure on what to do. Gearing for the defense, but we'll have to see if Sans can do so as X-Win barely gets his claws onto Keyboy. It will be Fnatic Onic still waiting around, waiting for a chance to really clear this appropriately.
This is scary. This is very scary.
Wow.
That magic damage just from little Johnny is enough to take Keyboy almost to half health. Guys, this is a big problem for the Sky Kings.
This is a very, very difficult problem. They're going to have to try to find a solution for this. The Lord is just chunking away at that turret. Dominators are set, getting Keyboy, forcing him back. That's a base turret. Down already up top. Luckily for Fnatic Onic, it's still going to be the lane close to the Lord, but still, this is an overwhelming lead for Rebellion's comp at this point of the game.
Once more, we haven't really seen Kyrie pop off just yet. As the Divine Glaive picked up as a 5th item, along with the Starlium and the Holy Crystal and the Blood Wings. So he is still scaling, trying to find some items to get into that late game. But overall, this Joy pick, like we were talking about earlier, there's probably something to it. But usually we see Kyrie with a bit more impact compared to what he's doing right now. Rez, though, might be the target. X-Win?
Oh, he does have the Flicker. Decides not to utilize the Flicker for Keyboy. Not going to be worth it.
Doesn't want to go in for it at all. But Suelo picks up yet another item.
The Blood Wings for Cars. The Feather of Heaven. You thought the Primal Wrath was hurting just earlier. Now with that extra attack speed coming through, he's gonna be a legitimate damage dealer here. He might be the main DPS tool. Suelo is playing more like a burst mage, going in with the Dominus Descent, stunning someone, and spraying him down with the beetles. So later on, I think Matt just comes in with the Blazing Duet. Cars is gonna be responsible. As you can see, the spams come through.
Wow. Rebellion really feeling it. You guys can get this recall, but I do have a question here, Arashi. Is it... Wait, we've been talking about the Zosk nerfs, you know? And to be fair, Zosk has been completely ignored the entire 2 days. But Suelo is doing a lot of damage, man.
So... Oh, hang on a minute.
Oh, Rez! Oh no, no follow-up! They're all gonna fall down, there's a set, and it's gonna be Keyboy against Con. Rez will fall! Real world manipulation, but there's a winner crown from Aether. Cars in the back, 1v3, no problem! King MATT still has that Rose Gold Meteor. Kyrie can't catch him, and that's the onward, the Earth Shatter. Buddy needs another buddy like Keyboy to get him out.
Overall, though, it's only Rez picked up. Kyrie going for Matt and then swerving to try and catch Aether mid-fight there. Eventually, you go for 2 birds, you get none. Now Fnatic Onic, with a man down, with no frontliners, are still going to be trying to stay competitive in the area here. But man, Rebellion, they're looking dangerous, and X-Wing has that fleeting time, so that Divine Judgment might be up sooner than they think.
Kyrie walking up in the red tree, no Aether gets it before. Dominator's a set from the Suns. What happened to Suns? He got dove on.
Absolutely destroyed by that blazing duet play from Matt. I don't think they expected that coming through just yet. Maybe they expected it later on, but King Matt has a mind of his own, and he's going to be able to perform with it. That's a Lord marching in favor of the Blue Bulls in the top lane, and they're not going to have Sans to go for the defense this time around.
Oh no, 19 seconds for Sans. This might be the end angle. Rebellion have ways to dive in. X-Win with a conceal already, cancelled out by the Donald Walking, and I'm offended with the Earth Shatter and the Divine Judgment. Catches onto Kyrie as a spear of Alpha. Catches him too. Even with the Guiding Wind, they're unable to survive. Rebellion Esports just got a dub against the Sky Kings.
Expect the unexpected. That's been the theme of the day. In game number 1, game number 2, and now in game number 3, match number 3. The Blue Bulls lead this battle.